Namaste everyone. Good evening. Is the screen seen? Visible? Okay. Let's all sit
Namaste.
comfortably. Namaste.
Namaste.
Allow yourself to settle down in this class. Check your body. How is your body feeling today at the end of the day? Observe your spine. Exhale completely and loosen up all the tensions in the shoulder, in the upper back, in the lower back area where usually there might be blocked energies. Breathe in once more and exhale and let go. Once more, a profound inhalation and exhale. Bring your awareness to your jaw. Feel the upper and the lower lip and the tongue inside. Check if there is any tension there. The tip of the tongue resting on the lower palate. The cheeks are relaxed with a beautiful smile on your face. Your forehead smooth. Your nostrils, you could feel the air touching the walls of the nostrils. And exhale completely. You could feel the touch of the air in the upper lip. Breathe in, slow, soft inhalation. Slow, soft exhalation. Slow, steady inhale. Feel the cool air entering in. Exhale, feel the warm air coming out. As you inhale, let the air, let the breath energize you completely. And as you exhale, let all the residual air in your lungs be released. As you inhale, rejuvenate, energize your body and mind. And as you exhale, let go, let go, let go. As you inhale, feel the grace of the divine, the beautiful divine light bathing you completely. Receive this with grace, and as you exhale, release anything which is bringing resistance to you. Inhale and receive the grace with open arms, with receptivity. Exhale completely. Join your palms in Namaskara Mudra. Om. Inhale. Om. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratah chartheshvabhigyam swarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकम् सत्यं परं धीमहि सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये ततो जयमुदीरये। हरि ओम।
Hari Om Bala, Hari Om Aarti, Hari Om everyone. Let me dive in and share the screen. Just hold on. Is the screen seen now? Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, so we are beautifully starting with 14th chapter. So what we covered, anyone who has missed, I hope you have seen the recordings. Vidura had come, Narada Muni's discussion with Maharaja Yudhishthira of Hastinapura, because Dhritarashtra has left with Vidura to the ashrams, and then Yudhishthira is so worried who will take care of him, what will happen to him, so many worries and anxiety. Yudhishthira is all into suspicions and into worry, and tapa is happening, that anxiety, worry is happening. And how Narada Muni gives his pearls of wisdom so beautifully to him, saying that nobody is helpless, everyone have the grace of Bhagwan has a grace to join people together, to leave people apart whenever it is the will of Bhagwan. So having witnessed all this, Narada said, abandon this grief. And then Narada took leave of the Pandavas and Yudhishthira consoled himself. So now, beautiful chapter, 14th chapter. Aarti would like to start.
Sure. Arjuna comes back from Dwaraka. Yudhishthira's mind was upset by the recent happenings. To an extent, Narada's words had comforted him. But the evil portents persisted in the skies, and the general uneasiness in his mind indicated to him the dread advent of some great calamity. He could not rest. Narada had said, "The Lord has taken a human form to suppress evil, and his work is ended. You will remain on the earth so long as he remains." These words had made Yudhishthira worry day and night. And again, Arjuna, who had gone with Krishna, had not come back. Several months had passed since he went. Yudhishthira was telling Bhima about his misgivings. He said, "Bhima, I'm greatly worried ever since revered Narada told us that the Lord, whose purpose has been served, is ready to lay down the human form. He has assumed, like an actor, taking off the clothes he had donned for the role. He was playing, whose purpose has been served, is ready to lay down the human form he had assumed, like an actor taking off the clothes he had donned for the role. He was playing a part. My mind is full of fear. Do you think it is possible for our Krishna to go? Krishna, who has been everything to us, do you think he will leave us and go away? I am afraid, very much afraid, that it is to happen, and that very soon. Look at the sudden change for the worse on the face of the earth. People are getting to be more and more inclined towards adharma. Anger, avarice, and untruth seem to be holding sway in the minds of men. People are becoming hypocrites, and their natural love for father and mother and elders is fast on the wane. I'm very much afraid that Kali, the fourth quarter, has set foot on the earth, and Mother Earth has lost the glory that has been hers all these years, since the sacred feet of Krishna will no longer adorn her. Bhima, I am afraid.
Maybe we'll stop here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this whole part, right, where he says, Narada has told Yudhishthira that Krishna will leave soon because the work that he has come for is over. And Yudhishthira will also, his time will also end with Krishna's end. So Krishna is here, and the beautiful way he has been on earth donning this body as his clothes for a certain purpose, merely like an actor. So merely like an actor is he is completely untouched by everything that is happening around him, because he knows he is not this body. If a stain happens on my dress, do I think it's a stain on my character? I don't think that way. It doesn't mean I don't take any deep impressions because there is a stain on my clothes. It is just merely on this body. So the body is separate from my higher consciousness, my supreme consciousness. And so Krishna is that supreme consciousness, and he had just taken this body like a cloth and remained untouched by everything that had happened. And when his role was over, it was time to move on. That is what Narada Maharishi had told Yudhishthira.
So
yes, go on.
No, I was just seeing that my mind is full of fear. No, that I was just thinking of that line. So, do you think there is so much of doubt for Yudhishthira? Do you think that our Krishna will go? He has been everything to us. So there is a verse in the Bhagavatam itself how he says that everything we have, this my position here, my rupa here, my fame here is all because of Krishna. Do you think that our Krishna will go? So he has been everything to us. Will he leave us and go away? I'm worried, I'm afraid. So there is so much of worry that my Krishna will go. Will my Krishna go? So I just
that fear, I think, like what you're saying, it comes when something which I seek shelter in goes away.
Yeah.
Right? That's why they say take shelter. He is the only ashraya. Right? I mean, when I take shelter in all those which are bound to go away, then the fear sets in.
And also the fear sets in when I think that some Krishna is apart from me and he will go away.
Right.
Yeah.
Towards the end, we will see that clarity that comes in towards the end. But right, when is that fear? When somebody apart from me, only they can go away. Right? So now that fear is there because some clarity is still yet to dawn.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thinking of the Krishna as that Vasudeva and Devaki's son and the one who helped him. Only that, yes, then that fear is there.
Here Yudhishthira also now he's looking at his most dearest Krishna. Sometimes I think he also forgets that who is this Krishna also. The main supreme personality, supreme Godhead itself. Once in a while some clouding happens. Will my Krishna go away? If once in a while our clouding also happens once in a while, right? We see the stories of great saints also, sir, and they have such tapa, such anxiety, and they say that for a brief few seconds I actually forgot about you. I'm feeling so bad that I forgot about you, and I really want to remember you always and always and always. And they sit and cry in front of Bhagwan, all the Nayanars. And if you hear the story of the Nayanars, if you hear the story of all the beautiful, wonderful saints, they keep saying that only. So once in a while they think that they forget that they have forgotten Krishna, they have forgotten the Lord, they have forgotten the divine. And again and again, who's reminding them again that hey, I am there with you again? Krishna, or again the divine, the supreme is only reminding you that no, I am there here only, I am there with you, like that. So that really was very, very touching when I was just reading that. And even the verses also, Yudhishthira keeps gives is so much of shares, is letting go, he's sharing to Bhima, his younger brother, all his tapa, all his anxiety, all his worry. That is the beauty of Yudhishthira also. Even as a Maharaja, he's not keeping to himself, he's sharing, and that sharing also helps him to give clarity. So he's saying that, yeah, has he gone away? I'm afraid. I'm afraid. If that is to happen, look what's happened in this earth. So, because it's been said that immediately after the Kurukshetra, the war has happened, Kali has entered, but she had not used her full arms to embrace the world with her own characteristics because of the presence of Krishna. And now Yudhishthira somewhere has an intuition that something is happening. So somewhere I feel always that intuition happens to some of us also, right? Sometimes something is going to happen and we feel some kind of thing, something deep inside we feel have a prick or something is there. So even that intuition, that feeling itself, again the Supreme is telling us. So I was just thinking about it. Anyone want to say, share?
I think we can move on towards the end.
Yeah, just one small
Yes, yes.
thing with that actor, yeah, Krishna being compared to an actor. Two aspects came to my mind. One is, yes, like not getting, Krishna himself says, right, like how if a cloth gets stained, like what Aarti pointed out, I don't get stained, right? Like that, when there is something in the personality, when there is, to be detached from that, that is one way. Knowing that I am, say, if Rajinikanth is acting in a movie, when he is acting, he knows he is Rajinikanth. Okay, there is no need for him to keep telling him again and again, I am Rajinikanth. Say he's acting in maybe Basha. Okay, so he knows that he is acting as Basha there. He is not Basha, right? But he knows he is Rajinikanth. That is Sarala, naturally there. So Krishna's state was like that. He was naturally that, Akhanda, we say, right? That Purna, that complete and that all-pervasive substratum. He is that, but he was doing the role of Krishna. Yet, we say someone is a very good actor only when they are into that role. So, Krishna was into that also. So that is something sometimes we think detachment meaning, okay, I detach and I don't know, I don't get involved. It is not that way. It is like with complete involvement, yet that sense of detachment will come only when the identity is with the, something deep within, and not when the identity is with this body, mind, and the intellect. So that is something, Krishna brings out very beautifully. It's like, yes.
When I was watching that Padmavat, I'm remembering the Ranveer Singh's role as that Khilji. He knew he is different, that he is Ranveer Singh and that Khilji, but his role, the way he portrayed it was with complete, it was almost like he is Khilji, right? So that role from the outside, if you look at it, is completely with the role. You may not separate the two things, but so something like that. So that actor thing was very nice, actually. So that's why I was just trying because I hated Ranveer Singh for a long time because I hated Khilji. When that voted in that movie, the way it was portrayed. So like that separation.
The same way Yudhishthira is attached so much with Krishna, isn't it? Like how Aarti couldn't get over that Khilji act as an actor, right? So Yudhishthira probably is so now attached to that Krishna role and not looking him as that, maybe. I don't
know. That's why the fear of separation.
Soap operas we have, and people look at that mother-in-law or that soap operas and we relate. I remember my neighbor grandmother, the lady comes as some other different role she used to associate with the role which she has seen in a soap opera, and she says she is a bad person, so how the identification of that, even though I'm talking about a soap opera, but for us again to introspect is how are we identifying people as well as identifying us also. For us, like I would always say, Nitesh Bharadwaj, when he comes given off the screen, when he wears a shirt and a pant, we are
He's
thinking
Krishna.
Krishna is coming in shirt and pant.
Yeah.
When you close your eyes, do meditation, we see Krishna, Nitesh Bharadwaj smile here. The mischievous look of the Nitesh Bharadwaj, the mischievous smile of the Krishna where Nitesh Bharadwaj has acted as Krishna. So how much the identification is on that person rather than the entire Krishna himself. Here also, right now, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, for them, Arjuna is Krishna is his eternal friend, basically absolute friend. Of course, in that day when Bhagavad Gita was absolutely, dawned on him. Yeah. Continue, please. Continue.
Shall we move down and start
Yeah.
reading? Prabha, can
Yes.
you move down? She is attending to her dog, I think.
Yeah, so when the moment of Krishna comes, Simba also gets very excited. Yeah.
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 Yes. Where is it?
Arjuna came. Now down. I am
Him,
afraid.
I'm afraid.
Oh,
Him,
I am
I'm
afraid.
afraid.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Bala, you want to read?
He walked. Is that the one? Bhima.
Arjuna came back from Dwaraka.
Bhima,
Second.
I'm afraid. Check that. Bhima, I'm afraid.
Second line, Bala.
Bhima, I'm afraid. Oh, that's over. Okay. Arjuna came back from Dwaraka. He walked with slow and weary steps towards his brother. His eyes were raining tears, and his face was bent towards the ground. It had no glow on it. He went straight to the king, fell at his feet, and held on to his feet without getting up. Yudhishthira was trembling all over, and his heart would not beat normally. His voice was trembling too as he raised up Arjuna and asked, Arjuna, what has happened? Are you unwell? Or is your mind unwell because of some pain? What is the matter? Is everyone well at Dwaraka? Tell me, how is our beloved Krishna? Arjuna was standing silent. His face, like his heart, was drained of all joy, and wiping his eyes with both his hands, he stood for a moment. His mind went to his beloved Krishna, and with his voice choked with tears, he said, We have been cheated, my lord. We have been deceived by fate. There is no Krishna in Dwaraka. Why? There is no Dwaraka. He fell down in a dead faint.
Yeah, we'll stop here so that basically when I was reading the verses, when Yudhishthira watches Arjuna in an absolute, if you just visualize, if whoever are great in visualization, just visualize that Arjuna who is the greatest warrior, who has a Gandhiva bow, and he has that tejas, that glow in his face, and he is coming to the sabha all dejected, absolutely dejected, so tears swelling in his eyes, and you could see that person, visualize that Arjuna, and Yudhishthira had a sudden sense of feeling that something has gone wrong. So it seems the first few verses what Yudhishthira asks is, how are people at there? So I was just reading, how is Rutadeva, how is Uddhava, how is Nanda, Sunanda, how are all the companions of the Lord? Then he talks about how is Lord Balarama himself, he calls Lord Balarama. Are they all doing well? They're all anyway eternally bound in friendship. Everyone, how are they? He talks about how are the wives of Krishna, how are they have the good fortune of being with Krishna always, how are they doing, and how are Shushena, Charudeshna, Samba, and all the sons of Krishna, the grandsons of Krishna, how are they doing? And so many he asks everyone about everyone, and finally he comes to Krishna. Okay, the moment he talks about Krishna, he sees that the Arjuna's face is getting more and more lower. He says, how is Krishna, who is so affectionate towards his devotees, how is he so gives, he is a Govinda, he is a Govindanatha, he is a leader of all he is the lord of the cows, and how you know what he and how the Yadu dynasty, the Lord Balarama, and how Lord Shri Krishna, they are all staying in the ocean of the Yadu dynasty. How are they doing? How are the members of the Yadu dynasty? How are they protected? And then finally he starts like that. He said, "Oh brother Arjuna, how is your health? Why are you, what is happening to you? You have lost your bodily luster. Is someone disrespecting you? You have stayed there for a long period of time. Did someone say any few words? Or you came when you are coming all the way? Did you meet someone who's or did you not do your Kshatriya duty? Or so many questions. You see, you are always a protector of everyone. Could you not give anyone protection? And have you not taken care of someone who deserved to be taken care? Have you left them just like that? Have you committed a mistake? My God, so many, a lot of questions. You can just see, it's like a mother and the child, right? The child does not come for a long period of time, and the child comes home, how the mother asks so many questions. So much of anxiety is there in the mother. I was just visualizing that. It just reminded me of if my mother was there, how many questions would have been there. And then I would say the each question will add on more and more sadness within me if I am facing that sadness. So that is where Arjuna was absolutely grief stricken. So this is how the verses go by. And then he starts asking, what happened? Are you not well? What is your luster? What happened? Krishna is not there. What happened to Lord Krishna? Were you not able to spend much time with him? Is that so? And finally Arjuna replies. So that is what you see, that the Arjuna with absolute grief, trembling with, and then he says again lots and lots of verses, so beautiful. You both want to say something?
That we can dwell on that for some time. I think I was wondering, why does he say, we are being cheated? And I remember long back, I was listening to Nochur Anna, we say, I don't know his name. Okay, his Bhagavatam, very beautifully he described. I think those verses are there in Bhagavatam. So Arjuna, he remembers all the incidents. He actually again goes through all the incidents, from the Swayamvar, okay, and how Krishna was there in the forest for them. Even in the Swayamvar, he says it was all just made so that, Draupadi comes to our Navchur Venkatramani's, thank you. So, so Draupadi comes to Pandavas, right? And it was all made, orchestrated by Krishna. So Arjuna is now, everything is over, right? He's reflecting back. Okay, he was not so aware at that time. Right now, he is going through all the incidents. He says, oh, my brother, see where all Krishna has been there for us. During Swayamvar, yes, during even the Lakshagra, he was the one who protected us. Just like what Kunti Mata was, there Arjuna is telling those incidents right now. And then he says in the forest, when Durvasa came, Krishna was there protecting us. And he gave me the guidance to go to, Himalayas and get that Pashupatastra. And he was the one who actually gave me that curse, in Indraloka, where I was given that Brihanala, right? The 1 year of that incognito, it helped him later. Though it was a curse, it was actually a boon for Arjuna. So it helped him later. So Arjuna goes over all the life instances, very beautiful things which really touched me. I would like to share. So he says, even in, Yuddha, 1 or 2 incidents, just that. So before the Jayatratha falling down, at that time, it seems like they've been fighting like so much that Arjuna's horses were very tired. Okay, so Arjuna had all those, with Gandiva, all those powers, right? So he had in fact created a small garden kinds where the horses can rest. So he had created that, and he was off the chariot, and it was Krishna there. Beautifully, just imagine a beautiful garden in the middle of Kurukshetra where such a huge war is happening. Okay, there the horses are resting. Arjuna's horses are resting. Of course, Sarathi is our own Krishna, right? So Krishna is there giving water to the horse, cleaning the horse, putting the wound, whatever, bandaging the horse, doing all the role as the Sarathi there. And Arjuna is now off the chariot. He's not, he's a Rati Maharathi, right? He was not in that. He did not have that. But he was fighting with his Gandiva with so much valor. Okay, he actually kind of defeated so many people at that time. Now Arjuna says, I was thinking was the power of me and that Gandiva. Now I realize it was the presence of that Krishna who gave me this power. Okay, he slowly realized that Krishna's glance from the looking at that horse, in that cleaning that horse, doing his role as a Sarathi, but his glance powered me. He says everything he's saying that way. And final thing we know, right? When Bhagwan Krishna leaves his body, before that he in fact says, Arjuna, take all the women and children back to Hastinapura so that you protect them. Yeah. So we know that story where Arjuna brings them, and a night there is sunset happens, so they camp there. And at that time, women, all of them were there. There were just 4 tribal people who come there and they fight. Arjuna with his Gandiva, he goes there. Okay, his Gandiva is totally powerless. Such a great, imagine, he was a great Dhanurdhari, right? And he was such a great warrior, the Kshatriya, who has won over great Maharathis like Bhishma, Karna. That is what he was thinking. Yes. And he now his Gandiva was totally powerless. He could not defeat those 4 tribal people, and they take away all the women and children. So he was helpless there. He could not protect them also. So that is when that last little ego that Arjuna had, it was Krishna's Leela to, bring that down also. Arjuna realizes, oh, when Krishna is not there, I am nothing. Complete power, I am powered only by him. Okay, they say, right? In fact, Ramana says everything is Jada. All our envelopments, the body, the mind, the intellect, my thoughts, my actions, mine, my me is also an imagination. It is just a pure, ignorant imagination. All that is powered is that, Krishna. We say, right? Yadevi sarva bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samsthita. She is there as that Shakti Rupa. So Arjuna is, as he is going over all his incidents, he's truly realizing that, oh, the power is him only. And we all are just, so that is when, it was connected to this statement very beautifully. He says, so we have been cheated, meaning I've been thinking it is me who is that big Kshatriya, but I'm cheated. Actually speaking, the power was completely Krishna. So without him, we are powerless. So
I am nothing. I have nothing. I do nothing. Whatever I am because of you, oh Krishna.
Very beautiful. When you told about the Jayadratha scene, Bala, I remember Navratri Kathotsava. I told the story of Jayadratha 2 years ago, right? When I was reading that Kamala Subramaniam book, it was so beautifully written that when Krishna was taking care of the horses, every warrior there, including the Kaurava army, they were in a trance just looking at Krishna. It seems, imagine that is, you are in the middle of the Kurukshetra field and there is so much of what do you say in English, the vigor, that vigor is there, and then Arjuna, Satyaki, everyone in such a vigor to destroy the entire Kaurava army, and Kaurava army are wanting to protect Jayadratha. And at that time, Krishna with a beautiful smile on his face, endless thing, calmly patting the horses, making them drink, and it seems the entire army was just looking at Krishna. Such was the scene, it seems, which everyone were so blessed to have a look at Krishna taking care of the horses, patting them, having a smile and looking at them and again looking. So such was the grace of Krishna. And even the moment where the almost towards the end of the day it was happening and Jayadratha was not yet killed, Krishna knew what to be done and he clouded the sun so that everyone feels that it is already sunset and everyone were jumping with joy except Krishna, who had a lovely smile, and he said, Arjuna, shoot the bow. And whatever Krishna used to say, Arjuna just used to do. That's it. So that was the level of that trust and faith and shraddha that Arjuna had with Krishna. He used to say, do this, that's it, no questions asked. Because all his questions were answered in that few moments of that Bhagavad Gita itself. And that's it. He was absolutely convinced that he is in the mission of the Lord. He is in the mission of the Bhagwan. And the arrow was passing by and people are realizing that the sun is still there. So when you think about that, there is a beautiful verse where Arjuna said that there was no fear when Krishna was there with me. I absolutely was fearless. So it is just like a son or a daughter, when a parent is there, the son feels very brave to do anything. Right? A friend is there, a parent is there, someone is there, they feel, yeah, I'm very brave. The moment that company is not there, suddenly a fear comes. So what was that company doing to you? That was how it seems Arjuna had written in that. There is one verse he said that was how that fearlessness I had when I felt Krishna was there next to me. Absolute fearlessness. And I know that is the path of spirituality. But when his presence was there, I used to feel just like how a child feels fearless when a parent, when a mother is standing next to the child. It's also that you've also heard, I think Swami Aparajitananda ji or somebody, I forgot, saying that a mother, maybe a lady, it seems she used to get scared of everything. Everything she used to get scared. But one day, the lady was taking along her child for a walk or something, and at that time, a bull, it seems, was ready to attack them. At that time, this lady, who used to be very scared of bull and animals or anything, at that time she never thought about all that. Her identity of that was not there. That fear was not there. She immediately went and stood in front of the bull, protecting her child. That was the fearlessness of that mother. So, and the child was also fearless, thinking that my mother is there to protect me. So somebody
And
has,
this was not a helpless person. If you look at an Arjuna, he
yeah,
was known as the greatest Dhanurdhari of his times. Yet at every point in time, he knew he was the favorite of his teacher, Dronacharya. He knew he was hailed for his archery and known as the best warrior of times. But yet, at every point in time, he had that humility and that sense of surrender to the Lord. Whatever he said, he followed. When Prabha said whatever he said, he did. He made himself the best and yet surrendered.
When that mother-child example, very beautifully, that also, when we look at it, I think that power suddenly comes. I think it is just Bhagwan who is manifesting through that mother. That motherhood, that divine mother is coming at that time. Otherwise, if you ask me to wake up during the night now, I cannot. But when my children were, babies, and I remember when even before she would cry, I would know, yes, now maybe she will start crying. There has been many times where I would know, yes. So I don't think it was this limited, being which is capable of that. At that time, the divine mother manifests in each mother, I think, at that time, to take that kind of, compassion, all that flows in. And somehow the divine mother gets lost, maybe, as the children grow. But, initially, it's not like it gets lost, maybe slow, diluted. And if we are connected, if we have that surrender, then, yes, that power is there within, so it is that power, like what Bhagwan says, wherever there is that in Vibhuti, he says, right? Wherever you see that splendor, know it is me. Identify it as Bhagwan. Wherever that splendor is there, it is Bhagwan working through that, whatever. It is very.
This is a continuation of last week also, right? Everything is the will of God. So nothing in our life is a coincidence. And again and again, Kunti Mata says, and now again Arjuna is also saying, so many verses he keeps telling about how every incident in his life he could feel the the hand holding of Krishna. As a beautiful choreography, hand-holding, directorship of Krishna, basically. So every incident he says, like I was just thinking about this Durvasa story itself. So Durvasa is such a mighty rishi, and then he goes and stays in Duryodhana. Duryodhana, see what was his intention to please Durvasa? He had one intention, okay. So, and that with that intention he pleased Durvasa. Durvasa Muni was very happy and he asked, tell me a boon. And look at the mind of Duryodhana. That time he could have very well asked what all wonderful boons he could have very well asked. And what he asked for? He asked for the for another person's fall, right? Another person's fall, because that jealousy was so much in the peak for him that it was so clouded that he didn't even take advantage of that grace of the boon. Durvasa came there with a boon, and boon was right in front of him, and that was and then what did he ask there? The prayer, what was he asked was, go there to Yudhishthira, bless them at a time after their lunch time or whatever, after their meals time, please go. So how sometimes what is the type of prayer I also do is very, very important. Sometimes the grace is right in front of our step. Sometimes we overlook it because of our own clouding. And it really touched me with all these verses, how Arjuna keeps saying that incident, how you were, this incident, how you were doing. See how you were, the Draupadi had kept her hair loose like this, and what you did the hair, you made all the army of the Kauravas, Dushasana's wives, everyone, you made their hair loose. It seems when they all died, they were all asked to keep their hair loose. So that is how the verse goes. So how he keeps talking about the grace of Bhagwan. Even he was talking about Bhima. It's a Bhima has a strength, like magnificent strength. That Bhima could not defeat Jarasandha. 28 days or something they had, that Bhima could not defeat. And Krishna gave a small hint. With that hint, this happened. So again and again, I was reading in one book, it was written so beautifully that nothing in life is coincidence. No interaction with us is a coincidence. Every interaction, every person, every connection, every interaction is not a coincidence. It is the grand play of divine for giving us beautiful lessons, for being there for us. It is the will of the Bhagwan itself. So that when we look at it, then we are filled with gratitude itself, that how Arjuna, when he starts keeping on talking, right? It's actually he's sharing, he's letting out, and he's keeping on talking. It's like Kunti Mata tells, like Bala said, he keeps on talking of the grace of Bhagwan, and he keeps on talking about what all Krishna did. Krishna did this, how I felt Krishna, I had the bow right in front of me, I have the Pashupata with me, I have the Brahma Astra with me, but was it really any use with these cowherds? I had defeated Indra Deva when I was fighting for the protection of Agni Devata. I fought with Indra Devata and I defeated him itself. And what is with some cowherds and some tribal people? I lost. So oh my Lord, what am I without you? So beautiful. I am nothing. I have a void. I am absolutely nothing without you. And maybe my lessons in Bhagavad Gita at that time was supposed to give lessons right now. So beautifully he talks. It's very, very fantastic. Yeah, Aarti wants to say. You want to read? You want to continue reading so that we can get
Yeah.
more?
Why there is no Krishna in Dwaraka? Why? There is no Dwaraka. he fell down in a dead faint. All of the Yadus were killed. We will see this story at the end. So, and how Dwaraka was completely submerged by water. That is why he's saying there was no Dwaraka also at that point in time. When they brought him back to consciousness, Arjuna composed himself and told them how all the Yadavas had been killed and how no trace of them was left anymore on the earth. How the city itself went under the sea after the death of Krishna. They gave him time to gather his scattered senses, and they needed time too to digest this terrible news. Later, bit by bit, they got all the details of the tragedy at Prabhasa. Prabhasa is another town near Dwaraka, near in the coastal area. Even as he was recounting the glories of Krishna, Arjuna found a strange sense of peace pervading his being. He was talking about the glories of Krishna. So as peace was pervading him, his mind became clear and calm, and there came to him a sense of detachment. Incessant thinking on the feet of the Lord had cleared his mind of all agitations. Years back, Krishna had taught him the Brahma Vidya. This is almost 36 years after the Kurukshetra war. Okay, we must remember that this whole thing that is happening is almost 36 years after the Kurukshetra war. So years back in the Kurukshetra war, he had received his Brahma Vidya at the battlefield, on the battlefield. Now, and perhaps only now, after all these years, Arjuna found that he had finally understood what Krishna was trying to tell him. He knew now how that sorrow is caused by the illusion of plurality, the feeling that the jiva is another than the Paramatman. The reason for this plurality is the human body, which is made up of elements. Elements are the 5 Panchabhutas, Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. And the other cause is the combination of the Trigunas. Okay. Avidya, ignorance of the truth, is the basis of this plurality. And when avidya is destroyed by comprehension of reality, all the other things vanish. I can't see that. Vanish of their own accord. This is a very loaded, so much for us to delve into.
Yeah, I'm using on top.
Can you all mute yourself, please? So, what he says here is, so Dwaraka is covered, and Arjuna, when he was thinking about the glories of Krishna, like what Prabha said, he was thinking of everything. He was actually completely distraught, right? He even became unconscious when, after recounting that Krishna is not there, Dwaraka is not there, no Yadavas are there. He's telling all these details. He becomes unconscious. And then when he talks about the glories of Krishna, he thinks about it. Immediately that detachment then came into him. So even through his own, all his difficulty, that detachment came because he realized that he is not the jiva. So here we are having many terms like jiva and paramatma, jivatma and paramatma, right? So if I have a water bottle and that water bottle is, say, purple in color, the water inside the water bottle is the same. I can have one purple water bottle, I can have one green water bottle, I can have one blue water bottle. All these water bottles are the same. I mean, the water inside all of these water bottles are the same. But from outside, they appear different. One bottle, it looks like it's purple water. Another, it looks like green water. Another, it looks like blue water. So like that, the Paramatma inside all of us is like that water. He is the same in all of us, but it is because of that impurity in that bottle, the color rather, which makes that water appear purple, appear blue, appear green, whatever. Like that, this Jivatma is, the feeling, first he was distraught that Krishna had left because he thought this Jivatma is other than the Paramatma. That this Jivatma is different from the Paramatma. And this reason for the plurality is this human body, because we see this outer human body, which is formed of the Panchabhutas. We have Akash within us, we have Vayu within us, we have Jal within us, we have Prithvi within us. All of these Panchatatvas, this is what makes this body. And we think we are this body, and hence we think the Jiva and the Paramatma are different. And that is why he had this, that is why that illusion of plurality caused the sorrow in him, which was the same with Yudhishthira also. That fear is because of that illusion of plurality, the Jiva and the Paramatma. But in reality, the Jivatma is only an appearance of the Paramatma. Like there is a pot. The pot is made of the clay. Now, can you say, now clay is taken and it is made of pot. When you look, first what will you say? You will say this is a pot. But then when you look at that pot, you will say, oh, that pot is clay. Its material cause, the reason how it came about, how did that pot even come to be? It is because of that clay. So the clay is the source of the pot. But is the pot separate from the clay? Whether you look inside the pot, whether you look outside the pot, whether you look break the pot, I mean, wherever, you only see clay. It is only clay and clay everywhere. Can the pot exist without the clay? No. But can the clay exist without the pot? Yes. Right? So like that, we exist. The Jiva, the source of the Jiva is Paramatma. The Paramatma is the complete, the only reality. If the pot is there, and pot is, if you look at, pot is just a name we have given it and a form it has taken. But otherwise it is not, pot is not something separate from the clay. It is like from hydrogen, oxygen comes. Oxygen is a separate thing. Hydrogen is a separate thing. I'm just giving an example. From hydrogen, oxygen doesn't come. But I'm just trying to give an example. From one thing, if another thing comes, then we can say this is the cause and this is the effect. But from the clay, has the pot come? Is the pot something existing separately from the clay? No. It is only the clay at the end. That clay has been shaped into a pot. That clay has been given the name, when it has that shape, it has been given a name as pot. But otherwise, it's only clay. So, like that, because of that impurities, as you go down, you will also see the impurities are the sattva, rajas, and tamas quality within us, the triguna. Because of my triguna combination, how much I have, how much sattva, rajas, and tamas, that is like the coloring of the bottle. That sattva, rajas, tamas is like the color of that bottle, because of which I appear differently. But in reality, there is nothing separate from him. Nothing can exist within him. There is nothing separate from him. This is only like that pot is only an appearance of the God. This whole being is only an appearance of the Paramatma. Like the jewelry is only an outer appearance of the gold. It's just a name. You call it a bangle, you call it a earring, whatever. But the true substratum of it, substratum is that base of it, material cause of it, is nothing else other than Brahman himself. So when he realized this, that detachment, when it comes, right, that detachment is when you are with that Paramatma. Arjuna detached from this. He moved out of his avidya. Avidya is that I am this body. Vidya is when I am the Paramatma. So when his avidya was destroyed, his Brahma Vidya was finally fructified. Anybody else?
Oh, 36 years ago, the Brahma Vidya, and imagine it, it beautifully dawned. That time, the mission was something different at the battlefield. But now that Brahma Vidya has come to fruition, like you said, fructification, uh, for the main purpose of his life itself. That see, he was so much in a trance, talking about the glories of Bhagwan, talking about how Bhagwan has done this to me, this to me, this to me, and that by talking and sharing itself, it has made him into a absolute sense of peace. And like you said, the plurality. So I thought it's almost about time. So I again, like I said, everything is not a coincidence. When I was just reading through the verses today, and suddenly a story came into my head, which is one of my favorite story. Many would have heard, but today it becomes so apt. It is about the story of this very young boy. He is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa ji told the story. The story, his name was Jatila. Okay, and he had a widowed mother, and a long time ago, the widowed mother is not supposed to be staying in the village. They're supposed to be little far away from the village, so they rented a very olden hut. They had to stay there next to the forest. So they both of them stayed there. I'm trying to cut the story short as much as possible, but when you expand it, it is very beautiful. Okay, so the mother somehow tries to meet her ends and somehow puts the child into a school where you have to cross the forest and then go and then admit the child. So basically the child has to cross the forest and reach the school. So this child, if you say, I think it's 7-year-old child. Okay, so imagine that, and the mother, I think, does stitching or something like that. And the next day the mother readies the child, and the child says, Amma, I have to go. No, the child is very excited to go to school. Yes, but that day when the child crosses the forest, the child is extremely scared, looking at all the arms of the branches, looking like monsters and all. And the child somehow finishes the school and comes back running and crying, and the mother gets so upset. She says, what happened? Did anyone bully you or anything? No, I don't want to go to school anymore, because that forest is where there are lots of monsters. And now the mother felt so helpless, and suddenly she was a great bhakta of Krishna, and she looks at Krishna, she closes her eyes, and immediately she just smiles. Hey, you know what, Jatila? Why are you getting scared? Your big brother is there only in the forest. You go and call him. The guy is so astonished. He said, what? Yeah, your big brother is Madhusudan. His name is Madhusudana. You go and call him. Madhusudana, he will come. The child is extremely excited now. Nothing, no fear, nothing, because the child is going to meet his big brother. Amma, why the big brother is not staying at home, Amma? No, big brother has lot of duties in the forest, so he has to be there. Okay, Amma, I will go there, and I'll go there. And the child goes there and enters the forest. He says, Madhusudana Anna, whatever you can call in that language. Madhusudana Anna. He keeps calling. Oh, maybe he has some work. Let me go a little bit more deeper into the forest. And with that complete attention to Madhusudana, he calls, and suddenly he feels so dejected, and he hears the sound of the flute, and then who comes? Chilik, that with the sound of the anklets, and then wonderful, beautiful, handsome little boy with a peacock feather and the lovely smile, and such a handsome figure having a flute in the hand, and he comes there. He said, my dear Jatila, I am here, your little brother, your big brother. Oh, you are Madhusudana Anna. Come. I was waiting to see you. And so this boy, along with Madhusudana, walked completely, absolutely cheerful to the end of the forest, and said, evening, I'll call again. You have to come, okay? And again, evening, has the company of Madhusudana. So every day, this boy was so happy because Madhusudana Anna was there. And then one day the headmaster said that you all have to bring something because we are having a grand feast. So all of you bring something. So now this boy goes sadly to Amma and said, Amma, I have to bring something. Amma said, see, I am trying to meet my end. I don't know. Why don't you ask your little brother, your big brother? Okay, Amma. So this boy, so beautiful with absolute innocence, he tells Madhusudana Anna, you know what, I have to bring something, so I don't know what to bring. Madhusudana smiled and said, ask your mother, no? The mother, then, no, I asked my mother. She said that you know what to do because she asked me to tell you she depends on you. Then Madhusudana had a wonderful smile. It said, oh, she depends on me. You don't worry. Tomorrow, you come in the morning. I will give you a pot of curds for the entire school itself. This boy was highly excited. Next day he came. Madhusudana gave a small pot of curds. He was little bit disappointed to see the small pot, but his big brother is giving. So he, with a smile, he said, okay, I will go, with absolute innocence again, with belief that my brother has given. So again he goes to the headmaster, gives. The headmaster is so upset that why did you bring such a small pot? I told you for the whole crowd and you brought this much. And now the entire feast is over. The headmaster said, okay, go and give the curd at least for 3 people. It will match 5 people, 3 people. So the boy went and gave 5 people curd. Again he gave 5 more people. The curd was still there. Again 5 more people. And then the people who already ate, they said, my God, this is the most delicious curd we ever had. So they said, come on, give me more. And then from 5 to 50 people were fed. And even then the pot was full. And everyone relished the curd, saying that they've never tasted the curd. Now the headmaster went and said, who gave you this curd? Oh, my big brother. My big brother, no, he stays in the forest and he has a flute. He takes care of the cows and he's so lovely. He's my big brother. So he keeps saying like that. And then headmaster said, your mother told me that you are the only child. Let me see. I think you're telling a lie. No. He's my big brother. Wait, I'll show you. Come. So this boy takes the headmaster. The headmaster is already convinced that this boy has told a lie. And then he comes and this boy already is convinced that brother will be coming. So with that conviction, he calls Madhusudana. Sound is not coming. The flute is not coming. Headmaster is already getting upset. See, you liar, this is what it is. Where did you steal this? No, this boy starts crying. No. Suddenly he hears the sound of the flute and he smiles. Everything is so beautiful, sparkling eyes. He said, look, can you hear the sound of the flute? My brother is coming. And then immediately this man also is able to hear the sound of the flute. But after some time, this boy is actually seeing Madhusudana standing in front of me. Oh, Madhusudana, brother, why did you come so late? My headmaster is going on asking who gave the curds. I am telling I have a brother. He's telling me a liar. I am feeling so upset. And this headmaster is looking at the side. He is seeing only the trees. He is seeing nothing there. And he is seeing this boy is talking to someone. And he says, whom are you talking to? Sir, my brother, sir, here right in front of you, he is there. Look at him. He's having a flute in his hand. He's having a peacock in his feather, in his head. He's having a beautiful crown. Look at him, sir. He's there right in front of you. And then the sound came from above saying that, oh, my dear man, you have not yet come to the stage to see me. You have not come. I am able to be seen by this boy. It is because of the faith of his mother. The heart of his mother is absolutely pure. The Shraddha of the mother is so pure that I am able to bestow my grace on this boy also. There will be a time when you look at me with grace, you see me with purity, and only then I will be seen to you. So such is the value of Madhusudana, that is, there is someone along with us. That is where it struck me in this context today, is this boy crossing the forest when he had Madhusudana next to him. Was there any fear? Even a tiger comes in front of him, he will have the strength to face the tiger because his Madhusudana Anna was there next to him. That was the beautiful way. If anyone feels, I hear when I'm doing counseling for people, they say, Prabha, I'm all alone in the house. I feel so depressed. I feel so alone. I would say to everyone, those who feel like that, think that Madhusudana is there with you. Then are you alone? You do a lot of things with people and then there will never be a time when you feel that you are alone. That fearlessness comes, that courage comes automatically, like this Jatila who had this ultimate courage, like that mother who says that, who completely said that I depend on you. You know, that's so beautiful, that way she says to him, and it is so beautiful. I hope that this story, ends the session with that mode for all of us. Yes, Sarthi.
I would love to finish this with that when it is talking about Jiva and Paramatma and plurality and the one. with one song.
Super.
It's that song says, I'll just tell the meaning of the song. It says Brahmam Okate. There is only one Brahmam. There is only one God. There may be plurality, but even a king and a common man, when it comes to sleep, their sleep is the same. Whether you're a Brahmana or a Chandala, the earth that you walk on is the same. So I'll just keep it simple only with this stanza. I will just to bring out the plurality, but in that plurality, there is only one at all point in time. Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Tandananahi, Tandanana Pure, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana. I'll just start it a little higher. Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Nindara Raju Nidrinchu Nidrayunokate, Andane Bandhu Nidra Adiyonokate. You could be a Raja or you could be a common man. Nidra is the same. Nindara Raju Nidrinchu Nidrayunokate, Andane Bandhu Nidra Adiyonokate, Mettaina Brahmanudu Mettu Bhumi Okate, Sandaludundedi Sari Bhumi Okate. A Brahmana and a Chandala, the Bhumi is the same. Mendaina Brahmanudu Mettu Bhumi Okate, Sandaludundedi Sari Bhumi Okate, Tandananahi, Tandanana Pure, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana. Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Para Brahma Mokate, Tandananahi, Tandanana Pure, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana Bala, Tandanana. May we all seek his blessings to experience this fullness of him, to experience this oneness with him, to move beyond this separation and to know that he is our substratum, he is the only reality and everything else is false. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyanto, ma kaschid dukkha bad bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Hari Om. Didn't feel like opening my eyes.
I
Thank
just
you.
made me go into a trance, and beautiful artis. Artis that the meaning when she says along with that, it makes a